Welcome to the Tiffany Micah podcast. What we do here is build the strength and courage in you to accomplish your big dreams and goals in your sport. No longer will you feel limited. You won't feel you're not good enough. You won't question whether you will make it. Those doubts will disappear because you will have the competitive edge over your opponents and leave them in your wake. And the bonus is others will notice. Listen up and take notes because I will show you exactly how to do it. Hey there, this is Tiff from Tiffany Micah Podcast and welcome to today's episode. Well, here we are. This is the third and final piece of our goal setting for this quarter. And what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be breaking it down into months, and then we'll be breaking it down into just the first month of April, because once you know how to do the first month of April and break it down into week by week, then you can go off and then you can do the same for May and also for June. Okay, so what you would have come up with and what you would have done in the last two episodes would be you would have put together your end of game analysis. So you looked at the last quarter from January to March and identified what worked and what didn't, what goals were completed and what goals were incomplete. Also, you figured out what you're going to do next. What you then did in the end of quarter destiny is what you figured out was what goals that you want to accomplish for your personal destiny and also your sports destiny for this next next quarter, because I'm talking about months, for the next quarter. So you've identified those. In the second episode, you went through and we looked at what challenges that you'll encounter throughout that time and why things may be holding you back, and what you identified are some action steps of what you can put in place to make sure that you're moving forward. Now what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be two more steps to complete and then you'll be set to go. Is we're going to be looking at what must be true by the end of this quarter, and we're going to break them down into months, and I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll show you how to break it down also into the month of April, how you can do that, and then you can, like I said, you can apply that to months May and June. So step one is what we're going to do here is we want to identify, so this is I'll start that again. Grab an A4 sheet of paper. At the top of the page, you want to put what must be true by the end of this quarter. Okay, so April to June. And then the year, right? 2020. We know that because that's the year that we're in. 2020 is a very challenging year already. So what we then want to do, so we're going to end up having actually two columns, but we're going to have like 4 rows. So make sure they're evenly spaced out. And in the first two columns, in the top column on the left and the top on the right, we're going to have what our life destiny is and what our business destiny, sports destiny. I'm looking at business, sports destiny is. Those goals that you identified for the quarter, I want you to write those out. So, life destiny goals, for example, able to run 5Ks with no pain, light on feet, being able to read 4 books, play 3 songs fluently, and 3 adventures completed, right? That's my life destiny. Then for your sport destiny, whatever it is that you've actually written out for your sport. So there was something that I talked about in the last episode was about how that you wanted to improve your focus when you compete. So that might be a goal. There might be a specific technique that you want to improve in your sport. There might be a specific training thing that you want to do, or whatever those goals are for your sport that you've identified for the quarter, write that out in that second column. Okay, so you've got your life destiny on one side of the page in that whole big column on the left. On the right, you've got your sports destiny on the right hand side of that column. Okay, so you've got those two big columns. But now we've created those rows. So what we need to do is we need to then break it down into months. Okay, so the questions will then be, so if we go back to our life destiny, I'll try and keep this as easy as I can to explain for you. But underneath where you've put life destiny for the quarter, what you want to then do is ask the question, what must be true by the end of April 2020? And what I want you then to do is break down and divide it by 3, so to speak, of what needs to be true by the end of April. Because you don't have to have accomplished your whole quarter goal by the end of April. You can break it down and simplify it so it's much easier for you. Then in the next row below, what must be true by the end of May 2020? And you write down specifically what must be true by the end of that month. And then the last row, what must be true by the end of June 2020, and you write out what specifically you need to accomplish by then. So for example, I'll break down the running one because that's nice and easy to understand. So my life destiny was to run 5Ks with no pain and light on feet. So in April, what I want to be able to do by the end of April is run 1.5K and light on feet. What I want to be true by the end of May is I want to be able to run another 1.5K, which is really 3Ks in total, and be light on feet. What do I want to be true by the end of June is I want to be able to run 5Ks and be light on feet. So see how I've broken it down so that I can build it up? The same with, I love playing the guitar. So playing 3 songs is a life destiny goal with fluently off by heart, all right? So then I list out specific songs that I want to make sure that I can play fluently in. So one specific song in April, one specific song in May, and one specific song in June that I can play fluently and really good at, and sound as good as the musicians themselves, right? That's the type of thing that I want you to be really specific about. So then when we shift across into your sports destiny, which is in that second column on your right-hand side, and those quarter destiny goals that you've got set out, what you then want to do is the same thing below in those rows below, is you want to identify what will be true by the end of April 2020, what you want to be true by the end of May 2020, and also what you want to be true by the end of June 2020, okay? So, for example, with I talked about focus, right? You want to be able to focus better when you begin to compete again. So that's your quarterly goal. So what you want to be true by the end of April is that you want to be able to, we'll use meditation because it's easy to explain. You want to be able to be able to meditate without being distracted for 2 minutes in the first month by the end of April, okay? The second month, you might want to be able to be completely focused, and even when you know that you drift off, but you want to be completely focused for 5 minutes by the end of May. By the end of June, you want to be able to be completely focused in 10 minutes through that breathing technique when you meditate, right? So that you're identifying when your mind drifts off, and then how you've got to come back, because that's what happens when you compete. Your mind drifts, and it's about getting you back and staying in the moment. So it might be something like that. So you can see how what we're doing here is we're breaking it down. So each sports goal that you've set, I want you to break it down, and it's like we're putting it into little chunks so that it's more achievable. So rather than looking at it, because I'm looking at, like, for example, running 5K at the moment, I'm going, how am I going to do that? Because I haven't done it for a long time because I've had an injury, and because my injury is virtually healed now, I can start building that, right? But I'm looking at it going, how am I going to do that? Well, if I only set the goal of 1.5K for the next month, I can do that, right? If I set the goal of 3K for the next month, I can do that. And if I can, then, I can then accomplish the 5K at the end of the other one. I can do that, right? It's about breaking it down. So that's the first part. Now, We've itemized like each month what we want to accomplish with those goals. Now what we're going to do is we're going to shift into that next piece, which is the final piece. Yay, as you say. Come on, Tiff, let's finish strong. What we're going to do here is we're just going to break it down into this month of April. Okay, so what we do here is we have the question, again, another A4 sheet of paper, and we have the question, what must be true by the end of this month? And we have April 2020. Okay, then what I want you to do is draw so that you've got two columns. You've got your life destiny on one side, sport destiny on the other side, and then you actually write down those goals that you want to accomplish for the month of April. So for the month of April, you want to have what the goals that you've established that you want to accomplish, which was that previous sheet of what we wanted to be true by the end of the quarter and by the end of each month. You're now going to put that into the month of April. Write down specifically what you want to accomplish, which you've already itemized it. And then the same with your sports destiny on the right hand side, those 4 goals that you've set for yourself. Write down what they are for this month of April, not for the quarter, for this month of April. Okay. Then below that, what you want to do is divide what's the area that's left into 4 squares. And what we're going to do from left to right is we're going to go week 1 in one box, week 2 in another box. Below week 1 is going to be week 3, another box, and below week 2 is going to be week 4. Another box, right? So you've got 4 little boxes underneath, evenly spaced. For your life destiny, you're going to do exactly the same with your sports destiny as well. You're going to divide that area below where you've identified what your goals are for the month. You're going to have those 4 boxes again, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. And then what I want you to do in each one is that I want you to then break it down even further, those goals for that month of April. So let's look at an example, and I'll go to the running example because it's easy to explain. So able to run 1.5k with no pain and light on feet. So in the first week of April, I want to be able to run 375 meters with no pain and light on feet. And you're like, yeah, Tiff, that sounds simple, right? And it is simple when you have not had an injury and when you've been training for quite some time. So remember, I'm in rebuild phase. So if I can run 375 meters with no pain and light on feet, I'm going to be absolutely thrilled. Okay. Then in week 2, I'm building it up to 750 meters light on feet and no pain. Week 3, 1.125 Ks, which is 1,125 meters with no pain, light on feet. And week 4, 1.5k with no pain. Right, so see how I've broken it down into that, into like weekly goals. You work on the daily ones. When you look at those, then you can work on those action steps, that what you identified in what the challenges that you'll encounter. Those are your action steps there. Then you can implement those into the daily, what you're going to do from a daily point of view. Okay, so does that make sense with regards to what you need to do there? So if you're looking at your then sports destiny and you've got your 4 goals set out of what you want to accomplish for the month, then you want to break those down into week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So I talked about meditation, for example, and something really simple with meditation. And I said, well, why don't you focus on being able to focus for 2 minutes? You set your timer and you're focusing for 2 minutes through meditation or breathing, just simple breathing technique for 2 minutes, and that's what you want to accomplish by the end of the month. Well, then, week 1, what you want to be doing is you want to be just concentrating on doing it for 30 seconds, right? We're just breaking it down, making it really simple. Week 2, you want to break it down and make it easy, add another 30 seconds on, so it takes you a minute. So you're just focusing on a breathing technique for a minute. Then in week 3, you're focusing on doing the breathing technique for a minute 30. Then in week 4, you're doing 2 minutes, right? So you're building it up. So it doesn't feel overwhelming that, oh gosh, I've got to do all these things. Break it down and make it really simple so that they're in achievable chunks, okay? Very, very simple things to do. So that is it. That is all that you will need to do with regards to accomplishing your goals. Obviously, from a daily point of view, there's another way to do that, but this will get that structure in place. This will get you fired up. This will get you set for this quarter, especially in what you want to achieve with your life and also with your sport. And I really look forward to hearing what you will actually accomplish out of this next quarter and what you've actually planned as well. So I will look forward to you letting me know what's happening there. If you haven't yet signed up for the Successful Athlete Masterclass, then it's time to do that, because this is going to help you get the structure that you need. It will also help you identify what is holding you back in your sport other than what we're currently going through with the coronavirus. It'll help you identify what's holding you back technically. It'll help you identify what's holding you back physically. It'll also help you identify what's holding you back mentally in your sport. And then I show you actually how to not only identify, but how to then structure it in a way so that you're moving forward and you're actually out accomplishing your goals. Perfect time to do this right now, because you're not competing right now in your sport. It would be an opportunity that you can take advantage of to get your head around of what you've actually got to do, so that when you get back out on that field and you're competing in what your sport is, you're going to be crushing it, and that's what we want you to be able to do. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love it if you could share with me what you like best about what you heard, and be safe. I hope your family stays safe, and dream big, believe in you, and go after your dreams. Take care. Talk soon.